Sentence. A sentence is a set of words which makes a complete sense. A sentence has a subject and a predicate. It conveys a statement, a question, an exclamation, or a command. A sentence consists of a main clause and sometimes one or more subordinate clauses. Parts of the sentence. As defined above, every sentence contains two main parts, subject and predicate. Every sentence has at least two words which may be explicit or understood. These two words consist of a noun or a pronoun and a verb. The subject is what the sentence is about. The predicate is what is said about the subject.
If the sentence is a command, it may contain only one word. For example, hurry is a sentence. Hurry is a verb. The sentence is a command. The sentence is about the person being told to hurry. The subject is understood to be you. To write good sentences, you also need to learn these additional terms: object, complement, phrase, and clause.
Object. Sometimes the predicate of a sentence will contain an object, which may be a direct or an indirect object. A direct object receives the action of the verb. In the sentence, Harish wrote a poem. The action is wrote, and the receiver of the action is poem. So, poem is the direct object of the verb wrote.
An indirect object also receives the action of the verb, but not directly. In the sentence, my mother baked me a cake for my birthday. Cake is the direct object of the verb baked, and me is the indirect object of the verb baked. When a predicate contains two objects, the indirect object will always come immediately after the verb.
Complement. Though most of the verbs like read, write, go, stop, etc. describe actions, but verbs like was, does not, etc. do not describe actions. Sometimes the forms of the verb to be, is, am, are, was, were, etc. are used by themselves in response to something that has gone before. For example, who is the best student in the class? I am. Who is the Prime Minister of India? Narendra Modi is. Who was the first Prime Minister of India? Jawaharlal Nehru was.
Verbs that do not convey an action but which need another word or words to complete them are called being words. As such, the short answers given above must be written as I am the best student in the class. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. The words the best student, the Prime Minister, and the first Prime Minister are complements. Words used as complements, which follow the verbs, are nouns, pronouns, and adjectives.
Phrase. A phrase is a group of words that does not contain a finite verb. Like single words, phrases function as parts of speech and parts of the sentence. Phrases may contain two or more words. The words in a phrase occur in a certain order. Changing the order of the words in a phrase would make it meaningless. Here are examples of phrases. After dinner, on the beach, to be or not to be, a small brown dog, the car of my dreams, etc.
Clause. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. There are two kinds of clauses, independent and dependent. Independent clauses are also called main clauses. Dependent clauses are also called subordinate clauses. Main clauses can stand alone as a complete sentence. A sentence that contains one clause is called a simple sentence. For example, the monkeys danced. Independent clauses can be joined by coordinate conjunctions to make a compound sentence.
Dependent or subordinate clauses cannot stand alone as a sentence. They are attached to a main clause. For example, I will take you to the library when I have time. When I have time is a subordinate clause joined by the conjunction when. Dependent clauses begin with a word like because or when that explains its connection with the main clause. Subordinate clauses are joined by subordinate conjunctions to make a complex sentence. Students must gain a mastery over parts of speech before they learn sentence making.
Please like, share, and subscribe.